As an employer, imagine if we had a pool of students who were generous and knew how to find a problem and to solve it and to wrestle through that without being guided or handheld. When I read the mission, the vision of Big Idea Project to raise up a generation of generous leaders, I could not imagine something more aligned with what we do and who we are.
Generous leadership is having an understanding that you're doing something bigger than yourself and doing something not for the reward, but doing something to serve, to help.
Generous leadership means being empathetic towards others, and that's where we came up with, receiving graciously, giving generously.
What surprised me was the work that the kids can accomplish when I stepped back and let them have the experience.
I've found that the Big Idea Project has helped some of my shy students become really strong leaders.
She was emotionally drained. She just sank into my arms and she cried and she said, "Mom, that was so hard." Just the ability to reach out to total strangers terrified her at first.
They've gained confidence. They see that they have tried something and been challenged to the extreme, really.
They're starting to own it, they're starting to attack it, and they're starting to think differently.
It was really beautiful to watch, because she would come home and share with us how things were starting to fall into place, that she was more confident. This brought her to a different level, and so people recognized her as somebody who not only would start a project, but follow through.
It's not just for your top level leaders in the school. I've seen kids that were what you would consider at-risk or fringe kids that come in and now they feel a part of this culture.
The Big Idea Project inspires kids to become engaged in the world outside of their school.
And some of the students have actually made meaningful connections that could carry on in their future.
Andrew would think of himself differently after the Big Idea Project. What he'd be most proud of, I think, is how successful he's been transitioning from a not involved high school kid to 9 months later, a successful business person.
I've noticed a lot of differences with Ryan, and I think a direct result of the project. I think there's a lot more compassion, it seems like, that I never saw in him before.
The Big Idea Project is having a tremendous impact on changing schools, and it's doing this by making the student body an even deeper form of community.
The business community, it's valuable, and they are getting as much benefit as the kids are.
Having those people as individuals we could actually hire, that is powerful, and that changes not just the individual business, but the community.
I actually have hired an individual from the Big Idea Project.
These are skills that the business leaders want and need in the future generations. So they're coming away with problem-solving skills, teamwork skills, organization, and they're learning these skills. And they're not easy to come by just by reading it, but they have to have an experience that builds that, which is the Big Idea Project.
Man, get involved if you could. It's a wonderful project, and you might get more out of it as a parent than the child.
Absolutely get involved in the Big Idea Project.
If you're not already involved in the Big Idea Project, don't let another day go by.